The worst day of school ever. Granny was waiting in the getaway car. "Hurry up, slow coach!" the old lady yelled through her thick black balaclava. "Don't you dare!" yelled the headmaster. Harry was sprinting across the playground to the school gates. The headmaster, Mr. Puzzles, was gaining on them. The large bag of diamonds was weighing Harry down and causing his arm and shoulder to ache. He wasn't supposed to become a burglar for real today. He loved playing robbers with his mates in the playground as a joke, but this was totally different. "Hurry up, slug boy!" shrieked Granny. "Slug boy?" thought Harry indignantly. "I've just hauled this massive bag of swag across the school for you, you cranky old bag." Harry dived through the open window of the getaway car, in a move Grandma had been teaching him since he was 4. "Good jump, slug boy," said Grandma in a rare moment of pride. "Hold on tight, it's gonna be a bumpy ride." The old lady slammed the pedal to the metal as the car lurched forward and with a massive smash plowed straight into Polly, the dinner lady's Ford Fiesta. "Whoops-a-daisy," said Granny as she adjusted her balaclava so she could actually see. "Stop! Oh no!" Mr. Puzzles was at the open window and his long suited arm was grabbing for the big bag of diamonds in Harry's arms. "Give me those!" he shrieked, eyes wild, globules of anger spit hanging in his weird little beard. Harry clung onto the bag of diamonds with all his might, like a Brazilian yellow tree slug clinging onto a tree branch during a storm. Granny slammed the car into reverse and crash! Plowed straight into Jeremy the Lollipop Man's bright red Ferrari. Harry always wondered how Jeremy the Lollipop Man had such a nice car. Nice no more. "Knew I shouldn't have bothered parallel parking," muttered Granny. "Hurry!" screamed Harry. "Hurry!" Mr. Puzzles was trying to prise his fingers apart. With a zoom, Granny's car lurched forward. Now, I'm sure at your school, the roads are designed for people to drive carefully and slowly for the safety of children. They aren't ideal for getaway car chases. There's speed bumps and bollards to dodge. Granny ignored all those obstacles and rammed through them with her seemingly indestructible Beetle. Harry breathed a sigh of relief, until he saw Mr. Puzzle's hands were still grasping onto the side of the car. "Oh, this cannot be happening," sighed Harry. He thought his day was bad when maths, his least favourite subject, went on for an hour later, or that they also had English the same day. But then he got the message. The message on the phone. Grandma had instructed him to hide in the reading corner. "Get the headmaster's diamonds! Now it's time!" Kiss, kiss, kiss. It was an ominous message, and Harry had to spring into action. It was an operation that had been planned for weeks. He had been nervous about it the whole time. He couldn't wait for it to be over, but it had to be a success. Mr. Puzzles couldn't get these diamonds after all their hard work. Harry had an idea. In his bag for maths, he had a big panda calculator. It was giant and robust. Harry released the diamonds for a second, pulled out the calculator and plonk, whacked the grasping fingers of Mr. Puzzles. "Good work, slug boy!" yelled Granny, and with 3 big whacks of the panda calculator, Mr. Puzzles fell from the car into the road with a no and rolled smaller and smaller into the distance. "So long, sucker!" yelled Granny. Harry was jubilant. They'd done it. He hugged the bag of diamonds. The mission was a success. He imagined running away to a tropical island where him and Granny would drink juice, frolic in the sea, and play Mario Kart. Maybe he'd even have a pet toucan. He'd call it Logan. He was brought back from the island paradise with a thud. His heart sank. As they turned out of Grubberdale Way, the car was faced with a wall of blue flashing lights. It was the police. There were police cars lined up all along the main road. There was a SWAT team, armed to the teeth, and all their weapons were aimed at Granny's car. Granny's car had survived so much, but Harry didn't think it could survive a SWAT team. "Step out of the car!" yelled the sergeant. Harry looked at Granny. "What are we going to do?" Granny gave him a mischievous wink. She grabbed the diamonds and got out of the car. "Hands up!" yelled the sergeant again. "Remove your mask." Granny pulled off the balaclava. "You too, slug boy," said Granny to Harry, who was still frozen in the car. But surely Granny wasn't going to give herself up that easily. Granny held out the bag of diamonds, and the sergeant walked forward, and to Harry's shock, Granny handed the diamonds over. What was she doing? What happened next stunned Harry rigid. In fact, he would be less surprised if Logan Paul burst out of the car glove compartment and poured an entire bottle of Prime over Harry's head. Granny gave the sergeant a massive hug. What? Harry jumped out of the car. What was going on? Son, your granny is a hero, the sergeant said. Your headmaster is one of the most notorious diamond thieves in the country. What? I'm not the real hero, said Granny. I couldn't have done it without someone very special and heroic. Harry beamed with pride. Thank you, Jeremy, said Grandma. As Jeremy the lollipop man, who was now in detective clothes, emerged from the crowd. Jeremy's been working undercover on this case for years. Thank you, Jeremy, said Granny as Jeremy blushed with pride. And they... This is the best one we've ever done. Who wrote this? Was it you? Yeah, I thought so. Thank you, Jeremy, said Granny as Jeremy blushed with pride. And they engaged in a passionate kiss, which was ridiculously gross. Puzzles is in the road, ready to be arrested, said Granny. Good work, everyone. What about me? Yelled Harry. Oh yeah, well done, slug boy, said Granny. This was the worst day of school ever. Got an idea for a story? Tell us the title at funkidslive.com/Storyquest and we could bring your story to life. For a new story each week, make sure you hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss a single episode. And we're with Harrison, who gave us the title, The Worst Day of School Ever. Harrison, we had a lot of fun writing this story. What gave you the idea for the worst day of school ever?
Well, one day I went to school, and maths isn't my favourite subject either, and we did do that an hour longer, and I had to go swimming after school, and I don't like going swimming.
Oh, that does sound like the worst day of school ever. What did you make of the worst day at our school that we wrote for you? Pretty bad, right? What was your favourite moment of the story?
My favourite moment was, when they realised at the ending part that when they were actually all friends in the end.
Ah, and it was all Gran, right?
Yeah.
She was in on it. Who was your favourite character in the story?
Gran, I think.
Gran. What did you like about her? Because she's nothing like my Gran.
Well, I liked how she was dangerous but also sensible, but not sensible.
When you think of your Gran or your granddad or an old person you know, are they a bit strange and scheming like R1?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, sometimes. She's mostly nice, though.
Mostly nice. That's good. Not too strange or scheming. Well, it's been a real treat chatting to you. I loved reading your story out. Thank you so much for sending it over, Harrison. If you ever have any more stories, make sure you send them to us, okay? Got an idea for a story? Tell us the title at funkidslive.com/Storyquest and we could bring your story to life. For a new story each week, make sure you hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss a single episode.